F-35 fighter jets, Apache attack helicopters, 350-pound smart GPU-39 bombs. This country has been dumping a tremendous amount of military support to the state of Israel, all the while neglecting the very real needs of people that have been struggling in this country and around the world in terms of poverty, homelessness, mental health, access to food, access to clean water. I would also like to say, as I'm Jewish myself, I have family here that have been in solidarity with Palestinians for years. Despite the efforts of some, we are here today to say that our values as Jews do not align in any way whatsoever with the state of Israel's actions or with Zionism. This is not a religious conflict, and it's really disturbing to see some people in this town desperately try to portray it as one. This is a struggle for justice, and you know, we've had family members in the Holocaust, and we refuse to let one tragedy be used to justify another. Instead, we are here today to send a clear message that never again means never again for anyone. Never again means never again for anyone. So, you know, I just again wanted to say thank you so much to the organizers. Thank you for letting me speak and providing such a warm, welcoming environment. And from the river to the sea,
Palestine will be free.
Thank you.
Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free.
I want to share with you all a story that a friend of mine just shared with me. Her family is still in Gaza. She lives here in the U.S. Her aunt and her little cousin, little girl of 6 years of age, were waiting in line, incredibly long line, just to receive bread. Bread is what they have right now. Flour are the rations that they have. No humanitarian aid has been able to enter Gaza. The money that we are trying to donate to these facilities, they are unable to facilitate any assistance on the ground right now. And we know that bakery was bombed, and she lost her family. Any semblance of civilization and society is being obliterated right now by the Israeli government. These are actions that we cannot stand behind. These are impacts that we feel here. These are our friends, our family, people we know. Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Please welcome up our next speaker. Anyone? Please welcome up a student from our Fred.
Hi, I am a student in Rochester. I'm an anti-Zionist Jewish person who stands in solidarity with Palestinians. And I just wanted to speak a little bit about how, as a Jewish individual, nothing that the Israeli government is doing is in line with my Jewish values. This conflict has been conflated as a religious conflict. Anti-Zionism has been conflated as anti-Semitism since the beginning. And Jewish grief has been leveraged since Israel's inception to justify the treatment of the Palestinians. And I will not allow my grief to be used as a weapon against other human beings. I've been using social media, which is one of the tools that we have right now, to speak up about what's going on in Gaza because the mainstream media won't. And I actually got a message from a relative yesterday, a Jewish relative, telling me that I was being disrespectful to survivors of actual genocide by using the word genocide to describe what's happening in Palestine. And I want to say that I choose my words carefully, and we all should, and language is extremely important right now. And Gaza is experiencing a genocide, and it didn't start 2 weeks ago. Gaza has been experiencing a genocide. Palestine has been experiencing a genocide. And as Jewish people, we know what experiencing a genocide looks like, and it's extremely disappointing to not see more Jews standing in solidarity with our fellow human beings who have so much in common with us. So I just want to thank everyone for being here, remind you to use your words carefully, and to use the words that you mean. We will call this a genocide because that's what it is. Genocide scholars, Holocaust scholars, Israeli Jewish genocide and Holocaust scholars are calling this a genocide, and that's the word that we all need to be using.
Thank you so much. Our next speaker.
Hi everyone. I'll just start by saying that my family is from Palestine. I do have relatives in Gaza now. And I just want to build off what you just said, that we need to use the correct language. This is a genocide, and I'm a student here in Rochester, and I've been told by administration that the use of the word genocide was inflammatory and incites violence. And that made my blood boil, because when you misrepresent the entire picture of what's going on, that's how you don't get people to connect and feel as Palestinians as real people. People are struggling to see our community as real people, and they're experiencing a genocide, and I don't understand that. And I also want to say, a lot of people come up to me recently and have asked me to explain and tell them what's going on, why is this happening, because they've never heard anything about this until recently. And even after I explain everything, they tell me, okay, but what about what Hamas did? I need people to realize that there is no justification for what Israel is doing to Palestinians right now. It is a genocide, it is illegal, it is a war crime, and our tax dollars, our government is funding it directly and not calling it out for what it is. So that's why we're all here today. Thank you guys.
These two incredibly intelligent students have just brought up such a good point about the use of language, the precise use of language that we must consider. Specifically, what Palestinians are experiencing in ethnic cleansing, a genocide, which we all know to be true. Now I want to focus on the opposite point, which was just brought up earlier. The concept of terrorism, the concept of solidarity, the conflation today of Palestinian solidarity with terrorism. These are things that we absolutely cannot stand for. What we know is that when we allow folks, institutions, government officials, our public servants such as Linda Kingsley, to conflate the concept of solidarity with terrorism, it incites the exact violence that murdered Wadia in the Chicago area. The incitement of violence doesn't come from accurately describing the Palestinian narrative. It comes from describing and subjecting them all to this concept of collective punishment. We have to do better. Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
I am seeing this crowd continue to grow and grow as we stand here. I know a lot of you may have heard about it through social media. Some of you may have just heard about it because you saw us here. Just thank you all for being here. Please welcome our next speaker. Who's our next speaker? Wow, thank you.
Hello. I am a white American. I am not Arab. I am not Palestinian. I spent the summer of 2008 living in Jerusalem. I saw the cities that had been demolished in 1948. I stood in front of Israelis as they came in to evict West Bank landowners from their homes. They would ask West Bank landowners for a copy of their deed. They have possessed that land and documented it since the time of the Ottomans. Tell me how a Palestinian in the West Bank, whose movements are completely controlled by the Israeli occupation, will get to Istanbul to pull a piece of paper showing that their family has owned that land for hundreds of years. How? Tell me how. And without that paper, the bulldozers come in. The IDF comes in. And they take the land and they raise the houses. They raise the livestock sheds. They fill the wells with cement. Or if they don't fill it with cement, they put a fence around it and make it the water source for their settlements. These are things I have seen with my eyes. It is infuriating that people pretend that what happened a few days ago is the whole issue at hand. It is not. There have been 75 years of ethnic cleansing approved, applauded, and paid for by our government, by our tax dollars, by your tax dollars, by mine too. It is asinine that we allow this to stand. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for being here.